Hello everyone, this is Priya Kanakia. I am the founder of Dot Circle. I'm a conscious parenting coach and a certified personal counselor. So I work with mothers, and this podcast, which I'm creating, and it's the first episode today. So my mission with this podcast is very simple. I want mothers to feel confident, empowered, and have tools which they can use in terms of taking care for them of themselves and for their kids. So I want to make sure that you get different perspectives of different people in your parenting journey, and you also feel supported while you are doing this very important task at hand of being a mother and raising a child. So here is where I'm going to bring different people who will help you in your journey. So be tuned and be with me in all the different podcasts. You can ask questions at the end as well. So my mission is very simple with this is that I want to help you heal so that you can raise genius kids for the upcoming world of technology, because there is a lot that's going to happen and for which we want our kids to be ready. And for that, we need to be ready first. So, which is exactly the reason why I've created this podcast. So, today I have a very special guest. Her name is Aditi Gupta. She and her husband Tuhin are the pioneers in creating puberty education in India and making sure that there is enough awareness around this topic. And now they are coming up with a lot of comic books around values that we should teach our kids in terms of be it habit building, time management, financial literacy, and many other topics. So Aditi and Tuhin have also been on Shark Tank, and Aditi is a Forbes India 30 under 30 achiever as well. She has two kids and she is doing amazing with her parenting because I have been following her since quite some time. And I really like what she does in her parenting journey. And so I invited her today so that she can add value to your life. So she's going to be sharing about her journey as a mother, about as an entrepreneur, and how she strikes the balance, and what are the skills that are required for a child to be successful in their life. So let's get her on board and let's begin this podcast. Stay tuned till the end. So, hi Aditi, I am so thrilled to have you here. This is actually my first episode that I'm recording of this podcast, and honestly, I still haven't given it a name as well. But I'm so thrilled to have you here and have this conversation with you. Do you want to say something to our audience?
I'm so excited for your podcast, and I'm pretty sure that this podcast will shape up into something that parents are finding a lot of value. And I feel so lucky that this is the first one you're doing it with me. So thank you.
Thank you so much. So, Aditi, I follow you on Instagram, and I see a lot of your posts on your kids coming to your office, and
Hmm.
they are a part of your workspace.
Yeah.
How do you make that happen? Like, you don't think that, okay, you know what, I'm taking her to office so she'll disturb, or because I see a lot of parents in my community, they struggle with this. They feel कि मैं बच्चे को लेके जाऊंगी तो वो
Yeah.
disturb करेंगे. How do you deal with that?
Mhm. Yeah. So, uh, so the Menstrupedia is the company that I run, and Menstrupedia is run by me and Tuhin. So we are husband and wife,
Right,
and then we have kids also.
right.
So by the virtue of being an entrepreneur, I have the freedom, or I would say supreme luxury to design my workspace the way I want to design it. And the way it is designed is that it is very child friendly space. Also, we grew up frugally, like there are small offices, and we have 6 offices in this entire building. So one of the office is dedicated just for the kids. So there nobody sits there. It is mostly like my our second home. So kids would have their sleeping area. Kids have their child care. Then there is another person who takes care of everything that is related to us. And the whole space is and then Adi also. So Adi is my son. He also has his piano lessons, or he will do his homework after coming from the school. The thing is that the way our lifestyle is designed, it has to be integrated with our child. I did not wanted my child to live away from me because we are a nuclear family.
Right.
I always wanted my kids to be in front of my eyes, and but in a way that I also enjoy my work.
Mm.
So there was some challenges when it was happening with the first child because the office was we had just one office. We were a small company, and then a small space was my kids' space, and then the rest of the team sat there. But with Ankana, this model was tested. With my second child, the model was tested. It is important to designate a place. I think other companies can also do that. It does not cost you a lot actually. It costs you little amount. It costs you more when women drop off from the workforce.
Right.
So society has just established that just to have a very successful family life, women need to stay in the house.
Yes.
And that, workforce participation ratio of women is so low in India. It is lower than Nepal and Pakistan also. So more and
Wow.
more women, when they become women, one in every two women, like 50% of our women start to drop out from the workforce. They never return back to the work. And these are the women when they are actually earning lakhs.
At their peak.
So या एट देयर पीक ऑफ द करियर सो एक्चुअली जीडीपी का बहुत नुकसान होता है अगर आपकी विमेन आपके इकोनॉमी में विमेन ड्रॉप ऑफ कर रही है सो एज अ कंपनी ऑल्सो यू कैन हैव अ स्पेस वेयर there is a private room where the women can feed their kids. Once the kids
Absolutely.
start going to school now, after 3 years, then half day they spend in the school and half day they spend with you. Or then it becomes much more manageable. But in the beginning is where more support system is needed. And the way India is moving, more and more families are going to be nuclear family.
Absolutely.
Or so grandparents staying with grandparents. Unfortunately, what I've also seen is that those women where the grandparents are staying, women are not going to work. They are just taking care of the elderly and the kids also leaving the job. So this is something that I'm always very gung ho about. Women should not leave the job. And I and Tuhin both are very particular about this and the way we have designed. So our kids come to our office and everybody knows, like they have their orientation and everybody knows that this is a child friendly space. So
Absolutely.
taking care of the child is everyone's job. Other than that, it also adds a lot of cuteness factor to my persona and to the persona of the company also.
Right.
So even if we are a product company and there are strong emotions involved when we are chasing a deadline or something,
Yeah. Yeah.
even when there are kids around, there is always this there is always this cuteness thing. Um, so I think it is possible. I want to put this. There is another thing also. When women are working and when they become mother, they think that they have to do everything on their own. But if you take a small fraction of your salary and
Right.
make a support system out of it,
Absolutely.
you will end up earning that much money rather than. So what is happening is that you are actually making your women who are bringing lakhs of money to your house रिस्पॉन्सिबल फॉर व्हाट इज बीइंग कुक ये जो खाना है ये आपको 10,000 रुपए में बहुत ही अच्छे कुक मिल जाएंगे तो
Absolutely.
10,000 रुपए के चक्कर में आप है ना यू फाइंड अ बेटर कुक रादर देन सेइंग कि वो
Yeah.
मेरे को घर का खाना चाहिए मेरे को इस बंदी के हाथ का खाना चाहिए और
Yeah.
माँ के हाथ का खाना ही सबसे बेस्ट खाना होता है बोगस इट्स कंप्लीट बोगस हम मैं उस बात को ही खारिज करती हूँ so I have a support system of like I have a team of 5 people who take care of everything that will take me away from my work and the time that I have for the kids. So so we have cooks who cook food for us twice every day. We have somebody who drives our car. We have somebody who is a child support and who takes care of Ankana when I'm working. I'm always there for her for feeding her. Like Ankana is 2 years and I'm still feeding her and I think I can feed her for 3 years now till the time she goes to school. And then we also have 24 hours, house help who takes care of everything. So I don't have to think about my chores. I don't have to think about my errands. कि भाई घी खत्म हो गया है, नमक खत्म हो गया
Right.
है. ये सारी चीजें consumes women.
Right.
Even men also it consumes. So
Yeah.
every day, and all of these things probably is a very small fraction of your salary as compared
Yeah.
to the job that you leave. So
Right.
it is possible, and I hope more and more women would know that this is possible. And of course, then there is this guilt, which always all your ecosystem makes you feel.
Right. So
So guilt,
I love how you've put it in very simple words, where women don't need to leave their jobs firstly after becoming mothers, because there is a possibility of using your salary, making an ecosystem, putting that little money into, your help, so that you can earn more money and have a better balance. I love how you are making that happen in your life as well.
also, when women remain in the workforce, they hire more people. So it is good for the economy and the country, you know. Uh, Child care is somebody that only a woman will be there.
Yeah.
So any child support that is there. So when
Yeah.
women do job, they hire more women.
More
And
women. Yes.
that is why more women needs to not leave their job.
Love that. Love that, Aditi. So,
Yeah.
tell me, how do you strike this work-life balance in terms
Mhm.
of, okay, there is a lot of work, and there is, there are, of course, kids also need a lot of attention. They need a
Yeah.
lot of
Yeah.
connection.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, how do you balance that part in your life?
Yeah, so I think Tuhin and I always say this, and this is taken from Jeff Bezos. He always say that work-life balance is overrated and a flawed concept. There should be work-life harmony. Till the
Wow.
time your personal life is such that it is helping you to grow in your career, it's great. And your career is such that it is enabling you to spend enough time with your family,
A home.
you
Yes.
know, that is the time. And वर्क लाइफ बैलेंस ना हर दिन मेंटेन नहीं कर पाते हो. There are
Hmm.
times जिसमें कि मैंने पूरे दिन I have spent with my child, and there are days when I have spent only an hour with my child, and I
Yeah.
should be okay with that.
Yeah.
But anything doesn't come without discipline. So we are a very, very disciplined people. It We are painfully disciplined and consistent. So if our day begins at a certain time, and it happens to all parents,
Yeah.
once you become a parent, you become very mindful of the time that you have. You have
Time.
very
Yes.
little time.
Yes.
You have very little time, and that is when you learn कि ओ एक मिनट मम्मी पापा जो बोल रहे थे बिल्कुल सही बोल रहे थे टाइम से काम खत्म करो.
True. True.
once once you become parents, then you realize, oh my god, mummy papa, everything that your mother and father said was true. All the
Now
cliches are
making
true.
sense. Yeah.
Now making sense. So we are very disciplined people. We don't compromise on the amount of time we put in our work, and we don't compromise on the amount of time we spend with our kids. So that also means saying a lot of no. I say no to a lot of um gatherings. I say a lot of so in Gujarat there is a culture of we've been going for lunches and
Ah, okay.
just hanging around. So I don't do that. Like
Yeah.
yeah, my friends jokes. So I recently turned 40, and they threw me a surprise party, and they joke that we thought that you'll not come to your own birthday party. So we don't do parties, we don't do gatherings.
Yeah.
Also, at the same time, we don't have television at our home, so we don't spend a lot of time on screen. We are very particular. We are also very particular about our bedtime. तो 9 बजे के बाद अगर आप बोलोगे कि Aditi and Tuhin, we want to meet you, we are like, नहीं, we're not available. All our time is then for the kids. So discipline and routine is something that is designed in a way that it keeps us very tightly intertwined with the lifestyle that we want to live, and it really helps. Routine and discipline really helps you to live a very meaningful life and have time for yourself, especially for your kids. कितना
Right.
time आप उनके साथ spend करें.
So you're saying that you have to say a lot of no's to make sure that you are in your discipline and you are maintaining the routine for your kids. And I like when you said that how it's not work-life balance, it's work-life harmony. So work करो but ऐसे करो कि आपको time मिले to spend at home. ऐसे नहीं करना है कि और काम काम करते रहो, right?
Yeah,
And
because मतलब पैसे कमा रहे हो तो अगर घर पे टाइम नहीं बना मिल मतलब so you are earning money for your child, kids, right?
yeah,
But in future, but what about now? तो अगर आज के दिन ही तुम enjoy नहीं कर पा रहे हो अपने family के साथ और having that walk, then
what is the point? No?
what is the
Yeah,
point?
correct.
Yeah.
I also see a lot of your stories where you're doing your fitness at home.
Hmm.
So, how do you take care of yourself as a mother, and why do you think that's important? Because I see a lot of moms, Aditi, not
Hmm.
taking care of themselves
Hmm.
because they are so much behind the child कि मेरे बच्चे को ये क्लास वो क्लास, so much priority on the kid that they're rarely prioritizing themselves. What is the
But
importance of it?
yeah, so I have like the other moms around me are doing that, taking their kids to these classes and that classes,
Yeah.
said goodbye to the work, and you know, it makes you have self-doubt. I think when it comes to exercise and when it comes to taking care of your body, that comes from Tuhin. Actually, he is very disciplined. So I think who you are married to as a woman depends on, like, what do you do in life has to do a lot with who you are married to, who your partner is. It happen it has to, like, it definitely um, is important for a male and so important for women also. So the kind of person that I'm married to, he is very disciplined. He comes from an army background. I mean, his parents are from army, and exercise is a very exercise is a very integral part of our lifestyle. I mean, this is what we talk about. This is what my brothers and we talk about. कि कौन सा जिम कर रहे हो, कितना मेंबरशिप लिया आज, कितने, सो हमारी बातें ऐसी होती हैं. सो
Yeah.
सो वो एक्सरसाइज का एक कल्चर है ऑल्सो. I realized that after, so I am 40 now. So I had my first child when I was 33. I became pregnant, and then I became pregnant at 30, 38. So that is the time when you realize, ki, oh my God, backache is not going to go anywhere.
Yeah.
You have to do exercise. And C-section happened. So you have to build your strength because you have to be available for your kids, and
Absolutely.
energy down ho jayegi. So all of these things actually, I go to gym now every day because my kid is old enough that somebody can take care of her now. But when I couldn't go to the gym, the trainer would come to our house. So
Right.
uh, so I think that I don't spend a lot of money on things that are considered to be cool, but we spend a lot of money on our trainers and we spend a lot of money on gym. So again, yeah, those are some of our priorities that we do. In India, I think health is such an important thing that is happening right now. I mean, kids are definitely becoming obese, especially for women. Women always neglect their health,
Yes.
but they and in the house also, the ecosystem is such that it actually tells you कि यार तुम जितना sacrifice करो तुम उतना ही great women
Oh my God. Talk about this and it just gets me so started. Because ये
हो.
sacrifice culture बना के जो रखा है ना, like
हाँ
people
हाँ
feel guilty to take
हाँ.
time for themselves.
या मतलब औरत कितना सहती है. So and it has
Yes,
serious
yes,
health implication on our women. So so it is very important to first establish. So and then I think I know that women has to own their narrative, लेकिन वो पूरा ecosystem बना हुआ है. तो when you come across, like when you start investing in yourself, you actually come across as a selfish woman.
oh
And I
yeah,
think you should be okay about it. So I think you should be
yeah.
okay about it. Like
Okay to
does
be
the
selfish
okay to be disliked, man, just
or
for taking
disliked.
care of
Yeah,
yourself.
like if
Yeah,
they think that I'm spending time in by myself or I'm spending money on the gym, let them think. Like let them
yeah,
think you're selfish. Let them think you're
yeah,
thinking
yeah.
about
I
yourself.
mean, self-care is not selfish,
Yeah.
but you know what? You don't do it. You don't do it for because you want to prove to somebody that you are a great woman. You owe it to your younger daughters, because the kind of persona you will have as a woman, your younger daughter will internalize it. So it is very, very important that you come across as a person who prioritize your health, how you look, what are your choices, so that your daughter grows up to be a fierce woman and say that, hey, this is what I want in life and this
Yes,
is what I'll go after.
yes.
um, it is difficult, but it is not possible. I empathize with those women who have the position, but I also think that there are times when women start to feel uh, that being a great woman or being a woman who sacrifice more is bigger than, and that they start to, yeah, I mean, I'm not, I think I'm not articulating it well,
No,
but
I'm getting you. You're saying that I'm getting you. You're saying that उसको हम ज्यादा बड़ा समझते हैं when we are
yeah,
sacrificing.
एंड
rather than
अनफॉर्चुनेटली मतलब तुम जब वो इकोसिस्टम में चले आते हो, लाइक व्हेन यू बिकम अ पार्ट ऑफ दैट होल इकोसिस्टम, then you also buy into that narrative, but you are not before that.
yeah,
So don't
absolutely.
get into, yeah, don't get into that. Like be that selfish person, and look after, do take care of you. Um, and exercise is something that I think women are definitely going to have a lot of health implications.
Yes.
Uh, Data suggests that men would still take care of their health, but women won't because of all the other
Yeah.
things. So as a household also, it is our responsibility. मतलब मैंने एक पॉडकास्ट देखा था यार, उसमें बंदे ने बोला था द द आइडियल वर्ल्ड I want to envision is where every woman in our family is running in sports shoes. घर के अंदर ही स्पोर्ट्स शूज पहन रहा है,
Right.
पूरा माहौल बना हुआ है स्पोर्ट्स शूज का. ये थ्रो अवे ऑल दीज हील्स एंड
Yeah.
ऑल द glittery shoes, but
Yeah.
there is sports shoes where you are active and where you are,
Yeah.
many of the women also think कि just because कि मैं पोछा मार रही हूँ और मैं घर के काम तो पूरे टाइम
वो
कर रही हूँ,
वर्कआउट
इसलिए
हो गया.
वो
हाँ.
मेरा वर्कआउट हो गया. Yeah, I think those are two different things.
Yeah, and I really like it when you mentioned that हम जब खुद का ध्यान रख रहे हैं ना, like when you're taking care of yourself, you're showing your daughter
Hmm.
that when you grow up, this is how you have to take care of yourself.
Yeah, yeah.
Nothing less than this will work.
या आई मीन बहुत लोग गिल्टी फील कराते हैं कि यार तुम तो ऑफिस में रहते हो, तुम्हारे बच्चे तो कैसे, मैं
Yeah,
कहा कि बट इफ यू सी दोज वुमेन हु वर्क, देयर किड्स बिकम इंडिपेंडेंट अर्ली.
right,
They can really do all their work, and this is how kids are learning. Kids are saying that okay, my mother goes to office. I mean, going to office is a very common thing for them. So yeah.
right. So Aditi, we spoke about कि how society ने कुछ rules और norms और सब बना के रखा है. uh, from that एक topic मुझे ध्यान में आ रहा है that when we were young, I felt this a lot for myself that I was raised for a world that did not exist. Like जब
Hmm.
मैं छोटी थी ना, like my mom and all used to say that रोटी गोल से बनाओ, या फिर your mother in law will say कि कुछ सिखाया नहीं इसको and all of that. तो ये बोल बोल के हमें बड़ा किया है, we've been raised like that. What do you think that were you raised for a world that exists or that did not exist?
Hmm. So I think I have to give that credit to my father for sure. When he was raising me, he was telling that. So two things happened. I clearly remember this conversation. I was there, and then my Mosera bhai was there. My brother was also there, and they were saying, "Listen, the world that is coming is going to be very expensive. So if you
Right,
earn as a man, you can run the family, but your wife also has to learn earn."
right,
And Riju, so he'll my house name is, and he say, "Ki, you also have to earn. So don't think that." And why is he saying giving lecturing us so that we study and we
correct.
work? So everybody has to do a job. And
Yeah,
when he was raising us, so my brother cooks better than me. And
wow.
when he was raising us, he I remember he used to tell that my brother would wash the utensil, and then he used to tell me also कि अगर तुम इंदिरा गांधी भी बन गई तो तुमको खाना तो बनाना पड़ेगा, which I think is a very gendered but at the same time he would also say कि ओके ठीक है, तुम भाई भी थोड़ा घर का काम करे. मुझे लगता है
Correct.
मेरा भाई थोड़ा घर का काम कम करता था, मैं ज्यादा पोछे मारती थी. But he was always very particular about that. I have to work, I have to earn, and I don't have to. Later when I grew up little bit elder, where people started talking about my marriage, he would always say कि शादी के बाद जॉब मत छोड़ना, शादी के बाद
Yeah,
जॉब मत छोड़ना.
yeah,
And
yeah,
I was a very big girl where I grew up. Like my height is big. My I puberty hit me, and I started looking like a woman. So
yeah.
so there were a lot of marriage proposals which will come. So there there my father will ask, where will my daughter go for job? And in this family, so you will not let her do job. Then I'm not going to get married to here. So I
Wow.
think I think I grew up with that kind of narrative for
Correct.
sure. Where my father, and especially in a place. So the place where I grew up, I want to tell you about this place. ये place का नाम है गढ़वा. It is in Jharkhand.
Okay.
मतलब इतना problematic area है ना ये, but also because it was so problematic, it shaped me. So I have seen honor killing happening, where there is a boy who fell in love with a Rajput girl, and he's publicly hanged. और
Right.
हम उस रास्ते से नहीं जा रहे हैं क्योंकि वो हैंग किया हुआ है, तो बच्चे ने बोला अभी ये इस रास्ते से चल के जाओ.
Correct.
When I was growing up, dowry killings were so common. It was so common कि तुमने सुना कि प्रेशर कुकर बस्ट हो गया
Yeah.
और ये औरत खत्म हो गई. Casteism, untouchability. I have dealt with casteism. So I was growing up this kind of place, but the one thing that differentiated in the way my parents raised me is that my mother was really educated. So my mother was an MA from Kolkata University, and I think that made all the difference. My parents were very particular about how much are they going to educate me and my child, me and my brothers. And they left that place, they moved to a new place, they took all the risk just to make sure that I am going to go to a better college or a better school.
Right.
And when a family has educated women,
Yes.
that family is liberated like anything. And this is not just my story. This is a story of Tuhin's family also. Tuhin's family also comes from a background where all the other brothers of his father are still farmers, but because his mother was educated, and she was very particular about the kids' education. And then, I mean, and then the things that I and Tuhin collaborated and built together for India and for the world, which I think is rooted in how much our mothers were educated in an ecosystem where women were not much educated.
Right. Right. Yeah. Because there are moms and dads thought process matters so much while growing up that you know how much to sacrifice or not to sacrifice when you grow up as a person in your relationship, in your career, everywhere, right? So, when we're talking about getting good grades and marks and all of that, are we missing out on teaching something important to our kids?
I think the challenges of our parents were very different from the challenges of we as parents. So
Correct.
when our parents were parenting us, the challenge was that everybody should secure a job,
Yeah,
और हर किसी को engineer, doctor बना है, और there were certain level of job only that were available. Whereas when the parenting comes to our generation, the challenge is not to secure a job actually, because
yeah,
I think there is an oversupply of job.
yes,
But the challenges are bigger in terms of that they will probably migrate to a different country, or the whole um, the whole dating scene has changed, or the way the world is moving, they are exposed to so many different things that they don't know how to manage their big emotions and feelings. Like, for
absolutely.
example, my parents did not have to discipline me much in terms of screen time, because टेलीविजन में प्रोग्राम ही बहुत कम आ रहे हैं,
Right,
लाइट ही बहुत कम आ रही है, मतलब बजली चली गई है. पूरे पूरे वीक में एक रामायण या एक महाभारत हम देखना
correct.
चाहते हैं, बट
Limited
राइट
has
नाउ
screen time.
limited high screen time. But right now, because we are always surrounded with so much of information and so much of screen time, we have to really make sure that how do we limit, not only limit, how do we keep our kids away from the screen time. The other
How do you
things are that
manage? How do you manage screen time for your kids?
um, I think we don't have television at our home, so that
Right.
kind of really takes care of all the screen time. Or other than that, with Ankana it was really easy, because with Adi, I think we raised him during the pandemic, so giving him cartoon Coco Melon and making him sit at one place was about his safety also, कि एक जगह बच्चा रहे. But once you raise two kids, then you realize that everything is possible really. So you give them other things, so the screen time becomes not that entertaining, so give them a lot of books. Adi is into lot of Legos. हमने ना उसको कटर यूज करना सिखा दिया है, उसको कैची यूज करना है. दिन भर वो पेपर काटता है ऑफिस में, कटर काटता है, कुछ चिपकाता है. He has a lot of tape, so give them lot of these things. Then they will Adi does ask for games now, और अगर उसको गेम खेलने में मजा आ रहा है, but every day I think every day he does not even watches any cartoon.
Right.
Be kabhi he will negotiate. Also become very bad at giving cartoon. Like be that parent who is not giving cartoon to kids.
Right.
So
So basically,
uh,
you give them stimulations or give them other things which are so interesting and fascinating for them that screen becomes like not so important in their life.
yeah, yeah. Also, I have started to realize Adi asks for screen time only when he is getting bored, and
Hmm.
we allow our kids to get bored a lot. मैंने किसी के
Absolutely.
क्लासेस नहीं लगवाए हैं और
Yeah.
ना ही मेरा मन है मे बी कुछ जिम्नास्टिक या स्विमिंग
Yeah.
में भी
Yeah.
we can put
Yeah.
but if they have a lot of crayons कि जितना coloring करना है coloring करो जितना painting करना है so when Adi was growing up I gave him a lot of watercolors और बहुत messy होता था वो like
Correct.
दीवारें पेंट कर दी हैं फिर हम but then yeah I mean, I have people who can take care of the mess, so I have to do that. I do all of those things, but that is the thing. If you have the luxuries in life, use it in your favor, na, to make sure that you are having better. Yeah.
I was talking about the marks culture, and I want to now get back to that topic where I want to ask you that do you think concentrating a lot on marks and कि कितना grade आया and all of that is going to help the child in their future in terms of their job or success basically? How do you think, is that even related, is that not related, or are there some other skills that we need to teach our kids in terms to become more successful in life rather than just concentrating on marks?
I think I think the kind of parent that I talk to, I see less and less of those in this generation right now, where they're not concentrating too much on mark. But let's face it, competition is all about. I mean, there are more oversupply of kids and less supply of seats, but there are then more colleges also. They have more options.
Yeah.
So there are more and more universities that India has, and there are more and more options where you can apply for different courses. So this
Right.
is a good thing that is happening, which means that even if you don't have to be always a 90% kid or a 99% kid, that obsession is also there. I'm very much away from those
Yeah.
kind of parents maybe.
I like the word that you use. It's an obsession
Mhm.
to be in that bracket.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. And I think it is happening with a certain kind of parent where the parents themselves were these kind of people. So I and Tuhin were not these kind of people, and we always used to think that the Indian education system actually failed us as students. So we are very mindful of this.
Why
I
do you
see
say
the
that?
um, because I think for a longest time, I and Tuhin were not enjoying what we were studying. The enjoyment only happened during our post graduation days when we were admitted to the National Institute of Design, and
Hmm.
that is where I find the joy of learning and the whole like I mean the trajectory of the life changed. But yeah, but if you look at the data in terms of बायजूस के ट्यूशन क्लासेस कितने लोग ज्वाइन कर रहे हैं और कॉम्पिटिटिव एग्जाम के लिए कितने लोग तैयारी करें आई स्टिल बिलीव दैट किड्स शुड prepare for competitive exams. I think that every child should be preparing for competitive exams because it really helps you to acquire a lot of skills, a lot of analytical skills. बहुत कम टाइम में बहुत सारी चीजें सॉल्व कर सकते हो. It helps you to manage your time, manage your emotion, all of those things. Because I and him prepared for competitive exams. It was a bad time for us, but I know we'll be good parents. Maybe more supportive. My parents were more supportive, um, but the obsession behind the marks, I think a part of it is obsessed, but I know a whole lot of people who are not obsessed about it, who are like really chill about it. I have a whole lot of parents who are also very chilled about कि science और maths नहीं पढ़ोगे तो चलेगा even if you're
Correct.
90% kid.
But why do you think that वो chill रहना जरूरी है?
Because बहुत options है यार. पहले इतने options नहीं थे. Like right now you can become a YouTuber and you can become an influencer and still earn a decent 5 lakhs rupees every month if
Yeah.
you have, let's say, given 5 years to
Yeah.
your online persona. You can
Yeah.
become a singer. You can become you can run a startup. I mean, in India right now, there is absolutely no idea that you cannot shape up. I mean,
Correct.
any idea you work enough, it will be shaped up. There are enough number of
Consumers.
customers that you will
Yeah.
get. So some of the more important things that we should be teaching our kids is resilience, how to be resilient, how to be okay with change,
Yes.
how to how to do their own work because so much of privilege that is
Independent. Yes.
surrounded. How to let go of things, how to deal with heartbreaks, because
Yeah.
I think how to deal with body issues. So these are if these are the things we had taken care of, I think the other things would be definitely being taken care of.
Right, absolutely. And some of your books also that I read, how to build a willpower, strong
Hmm.
willpower, how to be okay with making mistakes.
Hmm.
ये सारी चीजों पे I think we need to concentrate a little more.
हाँ, so पहले when our parents were raising us, Panchatantra stories were there, and the virtues were honesty and hard work and मित्र की सहायता करो. These were the virtues.
Yeah.
But these are the basic virtues. But our world has become more and more complex.
Hmm.
More and more cultures are intertwining. We are doing multitasking. So what are the other virtues that we can have? We should have enough willpower to say no to junk food.
Yeah.
When when uh, when we were growing up, we were not surrounded with so much of oversupply of food.
Yeah, we were.
But right now we are oversupply of food. I mean, 5 रुपए का chips is so cheaply available as compared to a freshly cooked poha.
Yeah.
So we have to teach our kids ki, and to ourselves also कि
Yeah.
भाई 5 रुपए का chips is going to do a lot of harm even if it is cheaper, and it is not for people who can afford it. Biscuit cannot be your breakfast.
Yeah, go
So
to. Correct.
so yeah, so a bag of chips cannot be your meal, and so these are the real challenges I think that
Yeah,
we
and
as
these are
parents
the
are
things
facing.
we need to concentrate on a little
Hmm.
more than just focusing on कि okay बच्चे ने कितना स्कोर किया.
Hmm.
Right?
मतलब अगर आपका बच्चा 80 से खा रहा है, 80% आ गए हैं, 7% आ गए हैं, kids are playing healthy, they are not falling sick. Regularly, they are not falling sick. Even if they are falling sick, they are getting well. अच्छे से, they are able
Immunity
to do
अच्छी
their
है.
work. हाँ.
Yeah.
Or they are self-dependent. They are doing all their work on their own or taking help from you. They are able to regulate their emotions. एक दो अच्छे friends हैं. यार, decent life है यार.
Absolutely. Tell me, one word that you use is emotional regulation. तो ये सिखाना कितना जरूरी है और कौन
बहुत
सी
मुश्किल है
एज
पहले तो.
और कौन सी एज में सिखाना चाहिए?
I think it could happen right from when the kids start to talk, because that is when you'll start to communicate.
Like
But
2 3 years, 2 years at least.
I think it happens much before also.
Earlier also, right?
Also. But okay, here it is a disclaimer. I'm not an expert on teaching kids about emotional regulation because I know that you yourself have to be a role model, and there are times when I have failed to do that. So
I think
so
that's just being human, right?
yeah, just being human. But 75% of the time, if you're able to model a good behavior, like emotional regulated behavior, I think we as parents, if let's say our kids are crying a lot and they are saying "mama, mama" all the time, there are times when I have said to Adi that Adi, I'm really busy right now and I won't be able to help you. Can you please calm down? Or maybe there are times when I said that Mama has to calm down a little so that I can help you. Can you go and sit with your father? And there are also times when there was a meltdown and where I shouted and there was a panic situation where I learned this amazing concept of rectifying your behavior. Or let's say it's talk about it is called repair. Repair.
Yes.
So I will go to my child and I say, I'm sorry that I melted down. And I will try not to do that happen again. But emotions are complex things and I'm really sorry about it. And I think this tool has helped me a lot rather than going in that guilt spiral जो
Oh
होता
yeah.
है parents का.
Yeah. Guilt
हाँ,
spiral
but
से जाना उससे अच्छा बेटर है कि you just go apologize, be honest that yes,
yeah.
this is what mama also went through.
Yeah, and kids understand. Kids sometimes they say कि नहीं
They
ये तो
do.
होता रहेगा. Sometimes
Yeah.
they say कि oh, it's okay, it's all right.
Yeah, they are
Um
very.
yeah, so I think kids as young as 1 year old also can understand your emotions, and they can read you, and they understand ki this person is safe for me, or this person is right now not safe for me. So as soon as they grow 3 years old or 4 years old, I think you can give them these tools. ये tools ना बड़े powerful होते हैं. जैसे कि for example, there are big emotions. So you can name the emotion. So there is this, you would know, there is this tool called name it to tame it.
Yes.
So if you're feeling, if so big emotions always come in crying or in anger. So my all emotions come in the form of anger. So if I'm frustrated, I'll be angry. If I'm hungry, I'll be angry.
Angry.
If I'm really, really sad, I will express
Angry.
it in anger.
Yes.
So
Yes.
so now I know that all of my other emotions that are there, um, you as a third party or a second person are seeing it in anger, but
Hmm.
I can really name it that I have not
Correct.
slept enough, and that is why I'm behaving this way.
Yes.
Or I'm feeling frustrated. I am feeling lost.
Yes.
I am feeling hungry.
Yes.
So these are the same tools that you can give to your child also. You can say that you can say to your child that, "Bacha, are you feeling frustrated, or are you feeling tired, or did you feel betrayed, or did you feel confused?" Confusion पे भी, so बच्चे ये सारी चीजों में सिर्फ रोते हैं.
Correct.
तो अगर अगर यू एज अ पेरेंट नो कि फीलिंग्स को हम कैसे नेम करें, तो ना बहुत इट इज वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट दैट वी टॉक अबाउट फीलिंग्स.
Yes.
पहले तो इट्स फ्रस्ट्रेटिंग कि फीलिंग्स के बारे में बात नहीं होती.
Yes.
सो
बात ही नहीं होती बिकॉज
हम्म
पेरेंट्स जो हमने देखा है राइट
हम्म
बिकॉज आवर
हम्म
पेरेंट्स आर आल्सो वेरी बिजी डूइंग थिंग्स फॉर अस मेकिंग श्योर कि हमारा फिजिकली वी आर टेकन केयर ऑफ बट इमोशंस के बारे में वन ऑन वन जो दिल की बात है जो एक्चुअली
हम्म
चल रहा है अंडरलाइंग नीड्स जिसे हम कहते हैं उसकी तो बात होती ही नहीं थी
हम्म
राइट
हम्म हम्म
so a lot of parents I work with struggle with this where they are not able to talk about their own emotions तो
हम्म
बच्चे के साथ उनके emotions के बारे में बात करना becomes a little more difficult.
become difficult. So I think to first teach yourself self-regulation, you should yourself be self-regulated. And
Absolutely.
writing is a great tool that really helps you.
Help
Meditation, sure,
me.
if you can meditate, मेरे
Yeah.
लिए बहुत मुश्किल होता है. But I think writing is such a great way to declutter your mind.
It's a
So
great tool.
yeah, so whatever, I mean, and it is a non-judgmental space. कोई तुमको judge नहीं कर रहा है. You cannot share it
Yeah.
with your spouse because
Yeah.
spouse also has their own issues.
Yeah. और कितना share करोगे right like
हाँ.
always better to write it down and your
Yeah, write it down. I mean, moms are always there, but मम्मियाँ बहुत परेशान हो जाती है यार जब बच्चा परेशान होता है तो.
yeah yeah
So, so maybe always writing down your whole thoughts, and then um, we don't give much credit to our kids in terms of how much they can understand, but our kids really can understand a lot of things.
yep
I'll give you an example. There was this time when I and Tuhin, we are a very lovely couple. It's a very lovely family, loving family. But ऐसे family में भी थोड़े से हाँ अनबन हो सकता है. So
yeah
Tuhin made a card for me. So I got a little bit upset about something, and then Tuhin made a card for me. And oh no, before that. So in Adi school, there is this activity that they do that at the end of every academic session, mothers have to make a card for their child, and they have to write something, whatever they want to say to the child. So I had like a pledge or something. Every night before he used to sleep, I used to tell this to him that, Adi, I will always love you. Even on your good days, on your bad days, even if you're feeling sad, angry, or even on days when you're not feeling like you're loved. And I
right
not only love you, I also like you because you came through us, and we are absolutely proud of you, who we are. This became like my nighttime ritual. मुझे पता है कि दिन में भी बहुत मेल्टडाउन हुए हैं, मेरे भी हुए हैं, उसके भी हो, but at the night I will tell this to him. And when Ankana came, I stopped doing it because then I was sleeping away from him. So, and I wrote this on his card also in the school. So when Tuhin made this card for me, and on that card he wrote like apologizing. And he just wrote I'm sorry. And then Adi opened the card because he made a nice caricature. He made a nice drawing of our whole family. So he said to Tuhin that, Baba, you have not written anything on this card. So Tuhin said, I did not know what to write. So he said, you write, I will always love you. So I think the thing is that what you give to your child, it comes
Yes,
back to you.
come back.
And and it is such a great, I mean, you become such a better human being in terms of understanding your emotion, in terms of evaluating your emotions and action also. So, and kids give you so much more than they take. I mean, they make you altogether an amazing person. So understanding all of these things actually makes the whole parenting journey. It is overwhelming. It is very tough, but it is also magical.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Because there's so much to learn from our kids, right? We're
Mhm.
always in a teaching mode that I
Mhm.
want to teach my kid this, this, this. But sometimes I feel that just sitting back, observing them and learning from them also,
They are
you
very
get,
resilient.
there's so
बहुत
much.
resilient. कभी गिव अप नहीं करेंगे. What they want they will take. you know um, they will change the tone of the voice, and people think that this is manipulating, but this is negotiation skills.
Yeah,
you know
yeah,
I know Ankana, so Ankana does not need feeding anymore, but still
yeah.
she wants the feeding. Then she will just change the tone of her voice and say, Mama, dudu pilao na, dudu. So at first, many of the reaction would be कि यार ये manipulate करे बच्चे, but manipulate, they are understanding how to use their communications and body language and tone of the voice to negotiate better for them.
Yeah, yeah. And when we start looking at this in a different narrative, it's
Mhm.
so wonderful because we
Yeah,
want them to do that a little more
yeah,
rather than
yeah.
thinking that, okay, ये मेरे लिए challenge है,
Huh.
when you look at it as that,
Yeah, yeah.
right? Superb. So, anything else you want to add on to our conversation, whatever anything in terms of let's say a last tip that you want to give to our parents?
Okay, okay, okay. I think that we talk a lot about parenting, and when we are coming to a parenting podcast, we are always looking for the answers.
Yeah,
But I think if there is one thing that you should know, that no parent is perfect and no child is perfect,
yes,
but there are moments when things are really, really magical, and we should hold on to those magical moments more often. Other than that, I also think, at least this is for the mothers. Mothers have this sinking feeling that I failed as a mother. But the thing is that, what if you failed yesterday? Today is not yesterday.
yeah.
Make
It's a
new
new day.
memories, make new connections,
Yeah.
and be the amazing parent that you want to be for your child, so that you enjoy the whole years of them growing.
Absolutely. I love that.
Yeah,
Because making a mistake or failing today, that does not mean you failed for life. It's
yeah,
just one day, one mistake.
yeah, yeah.
Absolutely. Love that. So thank you so much, Aditi, for sharing your life about your kids, about your parenting journey, what's worked for you, what's not worked for you, and being very honest about it that you also have meltdowns, you also have your space. And it's very normal. It's just being human, right? So thank you so much once again for sharing everything that you did. Can people reach out to you in some way if they have a question?
Yeah. They can reach out to me on my Instagram. We also have an Instagram page on menstruation. So menstruation related queries is something that we are an expert on. On puberty related questions. So puberty related queries can always be put on Menstrupedia or my Instagram handle, that is the menstrual educator.
Superb. So if they have any queries regarding any of these topics that you just mentioned, they can get in touch with
Yeah.
you. Awesome. So, all right, with that, we'll end it today and we'll come up with more such topics with more guests who can add a lot of value to your life. And thank you so much, Aditi.
Thank you.
If you like this podcast and if you found my conversation with Aditi meaningful, then write to me if you have any questions or any suggestions as to who and what would you like to hear more about. And in my next podcast, I will try and bring people who can add more perspective and add more value and knowledge on that topic as well. And if you have liked this video, that it made sense and it added value to your life, then please go ahead and subscribe our channel for more videos. You will keep getting the notifications. Thank you so much and have a nice day.